This video is brought to you by Project Management Solutions Limited, a Bahamian business committed to showing you ways to use project management skills to make your life better. You're progressing well with your project plan. So far, you have categorized and prioritized requirements, and you've created a plan to manage them. At the end of this module, you should be able to understand what is included in or excluded from the project and break down all of the project work into work packages. If collecting requirements is what the stakeholder wants, then defining scope is what the stakeholder will actually get. Defining scope is essentially the deliverables that will be produced as a result of the project, and this is what we refer to as being in or out of scope. In defining scope, you should be very clear about what is included and excluded from the project. Scope is essentially the product, service, or result that the project was intended to produce. So there's a difference between product scope and project scope. Product scope defines the features and the benefits and the characteristics of the product or service that the project is to produce as an outcome. Project scope describes the project management processes that you will use to be able to create this product that the project is intended to produce. The process of defining the product or project scope begins with a review of the project objectives. Objectives describe what you are trying to accomplish or produce as a result of the project. Objectives should be quantifiable and may include schedule, cost, quality, or business measures. You can get this information from any document that you can get your hands on that outline the project requirements or any other standard policies or guidelines. You should also brainstorm with others to explore alternatives to accomplishing the project work. The scope definition process results in the creation of the scope statement that documents the project objectives, tangible outcomes, and work required to produce these tangible outcomes. This is a key document that may be used to direct the project team's work and serve as a basis for future decisions. The project scope statement is a must-have document that serves as an agreement between the project and the customer. This agreement states precisely what the work of the project will produce. The scope statement tells everyone concerned with the project exactly what they will get when the project work is complete. The scope statement includes the product scope description, the product acceptance criteria, the project outcomes, exclusions, constraints, and assumptions. Exclusions are anything that is not included as a deliverable or work of the project. Since inclusions are noted in the project scope statement, they may be used to manage stakeholder expectations throughout the project. Constraints are anything that either restricts the action of the project team or dictates the action of the project team. Budget, scope, quality, resources, and so on are considered constraints. And don't forget assumptions. Assumptions for the purpose of project management are concepts that you believe to be true. Identifying, documenting, and updating assumptions in project management are undertaken so that they may be validated and so that contingency plans may be created. Information to add to the list of assumptions may be sourced from stakeholders and brainstorming exercises with the project team, as well as from vendors or suppliers. Once you have completed the defined scope process, the next step is to create the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure clearly describes the project's deliverables and scope. The work breakdown structure defines and organizes the project work. As project manager, this helps you and the project team in developing a clear vision of the project's end product or outcomes. Now, the work breakdown structure takes the whole project and breaks it down into manageable packages of work. This helps with communicating with stakeholders as well as with accountability to make sure that every one of those work packages are completed based on what the requirements are. The work breakdown structure facilitates reporting and analyzing the project status data. And this data could include information on resource allocation, cost estimates, expenditure, and performance. The information from the project scope statement, as well as the requirements documentation, is necessary when creating the work breakdown structure, in addition to information that you may obtain from templates, standards, procedures, guidelines, and other requirements. The work breakdown structure defines 100% of the work that is captured in the project scope. And that means that all of the work packages roll up into the top level of the work breakdown structure. Essentially, this is the 100% rule. This means that no more than 100% of the project scope can be included in the top level of the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure represents 100% of the work of the project. Collectively, all levels of the work breakdown structure roll up into the top as such that 100% of the project work is captured. The steps to completing the work breakdown structure is as follows. Identify the deliverables, organize the project work and determine the work breakdown structure, break down the work breakdown structure components into lower level components, assign identification codes, and verify the work breakdown structure and determine whether all components are clear and complete. Let's take some time to discuss what we learned in this module. Discussion questions. Why is it important to understand what is included in or excluded from a project? What are the steps in creating the work breakdown structure, and what would be the benefit of breaking down all of the project work into work packages?